For me personally, of all the things that I tried to do to lose weight, this is the number one thing that when I did it, it was the thing that got me my results that I'm experiencing even today. So even as a person that I got into my ideal body and then I had a kid, which automatically, weight changes, things fluctuate. And I can happily say I'm well on my way back down to my what I consider my regular weight now, and I'm enjoying the process and it's not a struggle. So all of this happened because of one thing I did. The number one thing that I did was I hired a coach. I hired a weight loss coach. Now that might feel like, what? No, but I want a technique. Tell me like the thing that I'm supposed to do. Hiring a coach is not a technique. What I noticed is that my coach provided me three main things, three absolutely vital things. The very first thing is accountability. It wasn't this hardcore, like, come on, Sarah, let's go, you're gonna do this. Nothing like that. I had to check in with him every single week. So every single week I had to check in with him. So what that ended up doing was preventing me from doing behaviors that so many of us do when we're trying to lose weight that really hijack our results. So the example of that that's coming to my mind is the cheat day. Everybody wants a cheat day, right? But the bottom line is your body has no idea that it's a cheat day. So you might say, all right, it's a cheat day. I'm going to go crazy and go off of my plan. But your body is just going to continue processing food the way it always processes food. It didn't get that memo. So that means if you did good all week, but then you have one cheat day or one, oh, it doesn't matter day, or well, this is a special event day or whatever, then you've just, that whole week might as well go out the window in many cases. And so what my coach did for me was just help me remember that, hey, this is a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week thing. You're always on the path, right? And that's not to say that I didn't enjoy myself or have treats or celebrate or anything like that. It just means that was one of the big ways that it adjusted my mindset with how I approached eating in general. Knowing that, all right, each week I'm going to be checking in with this coach. Each week I'm going to be having to, it's not even having a coach that like, oh, I don't want to disappoint him, or oh, he's going to judge me. It's literally, he's there to help me have to look at my own behavior. And so knowing that I was going to be checking in with him meant if I had a day where I was like, oh, F it, it doesn't matter, I had to still face that day. It wasn't just going to be facing it in the form of 5 extra pounds in a few weeks, if that makes sense. So that was very powerful for me. So accountability was the first thing that he provided. The second thing he provided was confidence. I don't know about you, but how many times have you tried a new weight loss plan and you're like, okay, I'm going to do this and let's hope it works. If you have that experience, you probably know that even that little bit of not knowing is oftentimes the difference between you going long enough for it to work versus not. And so there would be times, I call them the doldrums of weight loss. There would be times where maybe it seems like things aren't happening, like the scale isn't moving, clothes aren't fitting right, whatever. But having my coach, number one, give me a plan, and then number two, say, you're right on schedule, just keep going. That helped tremendously. Because the bottom line is, for so many of us, if you're planning on losing weight, but you only do it for 2 weeks, it's not going to happen. Like literally nothing is going to happen other than you just get frustrated, burned out, discouraged, and decide that you just can't lose weight. But you just have to keep going, right? And so for me, having that coach say, just keep going, provided me that external confidence I needed to just keep going. The third and most important thing that my coach provided for me is context. The internet is full of information about how to lose weight. But here's the bottom line. Information does not equal transformation. You might have all the information in the world, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to act on it. And in my case, even if I was acting on it, but it's very easy if you have information but no context for it, it's very easy to misapply that information. And so one thing that my coach used to say is you can be 95% right, but you're still 100% wrong. And so that's what I find with a lot of my clients too, is they found some technique, something on the internet that they're trying to do, but because they don't know the whole picture, they completely misapply it. And then as a result, they don't get the results that they want. He was able to piece together all the good stuff that I was doing, but just wasn't getting results from it. He was able to give me that bigger context, help me connect the dots. And by doing that, it meant, imagine this, it meant that there was no point where I was meandering down the road of, I'm just gonna try this random thing over here and see what happens. Every single action moved me forward towards my goal. That's a huge gift, you guys, because I think just like you can get decision fatigue, I think we can also get diet fatigue or transformation fatigue if we're not actually doing step-by-step actions that are all moving us in the same direction. If you end up spending a lot of time circling off this way, getting lost in the weeds, that's energy that you're burning and success that you're not achieving. And so it actually makes you move backwards, and really it results in you wanting to give up. And so that was the number one thing my coach provided for me. If you would like any information on coaching, that's what I do for people now, is I coach them as well. So I'd love to help you along your path. Maybe tell me about something you've gotten coaching in that you wouldn't have expected that helped you tremendously. Especially in the day of the internet and Zoom calls and all these things, coaching has become so much more accessible. So even if you're listening to this, but maybe you're having difficulty in some other area of your life, I would say the same thing. Find a coach. If you find a coach, someone who has done it themselves and they know how to do it, guess what? Your results will be inevitable at that point.